All right, hey there, guys. Sam here with you for a quick update. It's Monday, May 4th. Now we're going to dig in a little more deeply than the 2 minutes I can do over on Twitter. So just to follow up here, as I mentioned, that you really can see what you want to see here, which is, my first thought is, well, if it's that subjective as to where we are going next, then perhaps the safest place to be is out of the market here. But if you are in, and we're looking to pick a side, well, it's hard to eliminate the bullish count here until we get some more damage done here on this retracement. Now, it's hanging by a thread here. You note here we've had the test of the golden zone, then retested the 618. That has been defended. So I think it's a reasonable assumption that there is, well, combination. Likely there's an algorithm there as well. This is so precise you would anticipate that, but we know traders will be looking there as well. So technically, until we break this low here and we get a full retracement, you can't invalidate this count. If we break here, if we're going to head down here and get to a more typical relationship of A, B to C, we could certainly go to the 786. But as I said in the short version here, we're going to lose the buy side algo, which would be a negative for bulls here as we lose that. Not that we couldn't regain one here, but look here. So if we're gonna come from the B and we're gonna go down to the C, well, we know the next algo play will be the retrace. They'll sell the first 50. So if we're gonna end up with this, if we're gonna go A and this, if that could be the B, could be we're just in the process of creating a larger B. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. And then we'd come down here and look for a completion of a more typical pattern. We certainly had plenty of complexity in this 1-2 if that's going to end up playing as a 1 ABC into the 2. So even if you go down, let's go to the hourly, see if we can get any subdivision here. You might be able to make a case that you're working into a diagonal here, then maybe 3, 4, 5. That's still likely, although it's, you could double bottom here, but you're likely going to break this 65 if this is going to complete here. And it's just, you're kind of making a judgment call here on something like this. If we're going to come down here and complete, get a 5 down here, that wouldn't invalidate us. And if anything, it would give you more confidence that maybe the bullish count stays intact here, so we could have an A, a B into a C. Even if we break down here, we do have the 786, so that wouldn't invalidate. It wouldn't be what you'd hope for. I think the major tell will be what happens if we're gonna come down here and break the 786. What happens at the trend line? If we get a bounce there, well, of course there will be. So we'd be losing all of this. All right. So any potential algorithmic support there will have been killed. So that will be that's the last stand for a buy side algo if it breaks. So let's just assume that it does. So we come here 4 and we come down here for the 5 and we complete down here. We still have a candidate as an Elliott trader for a 2 here, but we know without any hesitation that now again, I'll just use the point of control. If we start to come back up here, there's going to be major resistance at this level. All right, we'll see, and you can see it would make sense. And again, I don't have this pivot, so I'm just making a guesstimate. We're going to have major resistance here, and then we'll have it again here as they will be looking to sell there with the bigger downside target right here. So, damn it. Well, edit that out here. So they'll be looking for that. So even that still wouldn't kill the buy side. All right, it's really, you're gonna have to take out this low, but you'd be breaking that trend line. Now, yeah, maybe a little throw over, it's possible, but again, you're in the context of seeing what you want to see. It feels to me like if we get down here, you're rationalizing the bull case, because the more bearish scenario, well, you've got the very bearish, and then you've got the we're still in a range, and which way we go remains to be seen. So, but before I jump there, let's finish up the bullish count. See, this is a little shallow. So here, this is a little bit of a conundrum. What's making this a problem? If that's the A, well, here on Coinbase, we went high enough that you could make a case for a front run here. If you look at some of the other exchanges, it was more shallow. So, therein is always the conundrum with crypto. How do you count it if it's if it's technical on one exchange and not on another? Well, you have to defer to wherever the highest price was shown. That's what my suggestion would be. So if we're going to come down here and get an ABC, we come down, maybe we get the algo target, because this certainly looks like an algorithm stepped in there for a front run with that as a target. Now, again, obviously, nothing says it has to stop there. We could easily go to second target. We'd be putting in a large double bottom down here at this 3,300. So all of this is still in potential here. Now, of course, if we break this pivot, all right, bullish count, the idea that this is was a 1-2. Well, that gets killed, all right? And then more likely, we'd be leaning into the bearish counts, which would have this as an ABC. Now, we'll get there in a second. So you've got some key levels here, but in particular, it's this upsloping trend line. If we break that, then it's going to start to look ugly. So we're not there yet. And so far, all we've seen is an algorithm defending the 618. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. So from this low, swing high, Elliott aside, right? Don't like the Elliott. Don't let that keep you from acknowledging the technical pivot here. So swing low, swing high, right to the golden zone, right to the 618. It's been fairly technical. So the first drive down, what do? We hold the prior resistance becomes the support. We get a wick through it. Now we've hammered it enough times, but you can really make the case here that just all through here, this entire zone here is just being tested as the demand. So we have an established demand zone here. If we can kick out of this, right, still, right, you have the possibility that we'd just be doing an A, and then we might have something along these lines. Even if we come down here and tag that and then come up, that is still there with the possibility that we're heading down for a deeper 2, or at the very least to challenge this trend line at the 786. So that wouldn't be terribly surprising. So you could still end up with something like this. So it's just... So I know you guys love crypto here. My advice is to just let this be. It's just the technical trading here is just not great, guys. There's just better places to be looking for trades than I would tell you than all of crypto. All of crypto is just not great trading right now, guys. It's just not. It's just not, right? I mean, as much as you love crypto, you want to be an enthusiast, you want to be dedicated, I'm committed to crypto. Great. You can make a case here that, Bitcoin under 4,000, who cares where we are? Just buy it and hold on and check back in a year. You could make that argument. It's not unreasonable. But as a technician, this is some shitty trading conditions. We've been in a range for the entire year. We're sitting smack dab in the middle of it. We see just brutal pump and dumps, both sides. It's just shitty trading, period. But if you're going to be stubbornly, staying in here because you're stubborn, well, I would be very disciplined with the money management, because we could go sideways for the rest of the year. So there's a degree of opportunity cost if you just stay in here and you're just banging it out. Yeah, if you're a short-term guy and you're doing scalp trades, yeah, I'm sure you can carve out some profit out of here. You have enough volatility, well, at least in Bitcoin, certainly. It's not where I'm focused, right? So I'll analyze all day long for you guys. But would I suggest, if someone came to me and said, good time to be looking at Bitcoin? Well, again, if you're a long-term macro trader and the idea of you're a long-term believer in the crypto revolution, well, Bitcoin under 4,000. I mean, there's an argument for that kind of position, to just buy it, hold your nose, and say, I'll check back in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, see where I am. But for technical trading, boy, there's much better trading going on than in crypto, right? Not to be a buzzkill. Right? I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'm just not trading it. It's just not good trading conditions. So what does a bear say? Well, a bear says, well, man, that's bullshit, man, because my shorts I've been killing it on the short side. Well, good for you, man. If you're making money, right, don't change anything. So we can certainly make a case that we've got an A is in. So let's back up here. Let me go to we'll go back out. Let me try a 3 hour here. We can see this. So if you're a bear, you're eyeing, well, certainly the prior low. And we have the longer term algo target that's down here to complete all this. I'm going to just round. I'll call it 2,200. So the idea that we are still, let me get this out of here so you can see it. The idea that we are still in this triangle that we've been in all year. Let's get this cleaned up here so we can get a better look at it. So still very much alive. This count, no damage done. See, maybe we're going down for the D, right? That would set all of that up. So maybe I should put a filter on my pessimism. If you're bearish, well, we're sitting at, what would we have, 3,700, 3,800. You got a target down here at 2,200. So a bear might say, what the hell are you talking about, man? I'm just waiting for the next opportunity to sell it. I mean, yeah, I get that. It's certainly an opportunity. Now, if this came down and did this, and we had this retrace like that, and we did something like this, yeah, I'd probably look at the short side there. But until we do that, it feels like we're just in a hurry up and wait. We need some event, some news, something to push us out of here. Because although, as I said, this could go for a long time. I could easily see this going, well, certainly through the end of this month. Could be 2, 3, 4 months. At some point, you're going to get to where it's gone on so long that we're going to lose any degree of symmetry here for this count. We're already, well, let's see, let's just do it. All right, so if we just take the length of the 1 through the 2, and all I'm looking at here is just length of time. And I'm going to just clone this. And just coming over here. You know, we're not outside of the range of what you might anticipate, but so it's going to need to happen relatively quickly, or this is just the entire count is just going to break down, and the whole thing is just going to look ugly. Not that it looks particularly great right now. So you'd want to see that if we're going to break lower, I'd rather it happen sooner rather than later, so we can break through, so we can get more clarity as to where we are. This sideways. When we put this low in, December 15, this sideways action will frustrate people, and the temptation will be to get in there and try and do some short-term trading, which is, unless you specialize in that, can lead to just getting chopped alive, right? Because it's hard to say that there's really much of a trend in here at all other than sideways. So if we're going to come down and do this, well, let's get busy with it. So let's look at that. So if we've got the A and the B going in, which is, see, this is so oddly shaped in here with this pattern. So it's interesting. Note how we do the same kind of thing here. We get a pump and a dump here, and then we get essentially the same thing here. We get a dump, then a pump, then a dump. So we're seeing these extreme wicks. I guess this is, you know, so dump down, pump up, dump down, dump down. It's just shitty trading, guys. I know good trading, and this is not good trading. This is shitty trading. We don't have enough volume to move anything out of here. We're sitting essentially just halfway in the zone. You know, sure, if we come down here and we do something like that, there could be a play there. Now, you know, of course, as I was just demonstrating here, there's going to be all sorts of resistance on the way back up. Now we haven't done it yet, but if we break that buy side algo, if we break that 65, there's going to be plenty of resistance here to get in the way. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get up there. Now the E's, as I've said before, they're known to underthrow here. So even if we did something like that, or even the golden zone here, wouldn't be that outrageous, but more typically you might see a 786 there. Well, then you're going to have this target, but you're going to have the big one down here as well. So you're going to have short-term and long. Here's the big one down here at 20, well, I'm just rounding. I'll call it 2,200. So there's no reason to really force anything here. If we're going to do something like this and we start down, there will be plenty of opportunity. There will be something technical that will set up that will give you the opportunity to get into the 3 of the, is it the 3 of the 1 of the 5? Or the 3 of the 5, no way to know until we see what it looks like coming off of that. But right now, the anticipation seems to be that we're dropping. That's what most people are anticipating, is that we're going to drop. Well, that has me. I'll wait to confirm that we break this zone here before I completely abandon the bullish side of it. We haven't done it yet. And if we're going to do it, we're certainly going to need to see a little retrace, because at this point, this will need to, if this count is correctly identified, we're going to need this diagonal to finish here. It's hard to see anything else in there because of the shape of the 1-2. So if I pull this off, right, this, what do you do with that, right? You can't get any subdivision in it. So is that the B? Well, you have the structure in a 1 hour bar. You could make that case, but this, so where's your 1 here? Is it here? Is it here? A, B, C into the 1, or is it A, B, 1, 2, 3? There's so little data here. It's very hard to make a call with any degree of confidence. So I step back and I go, okay, where are the bigger demand and supply zones? Where, if I'm on a 60-minute, where are the key algo plays? Well, so far, just defense. In, defend it, kicked out hard, back to test it. Well, if it's going to roll over, if it's going to roll over, we're going to need to break one of these pivots to confirm that we've got a diagonal, and then we might be able to come down here. Now, is that the C or just the 1 of the C? Well, again, no way to know. We need more information. So as far as I'm concerned, best place to be here is on the sidelines, unless you specialize in short-term scalping. But I wouldn't come in here and say, I've been swing trading off the 4 hours. I'm going to go down to that 5 minutes, see if I can do some scalping, right? It's not the right conditions for it. Wicky, pumpy, dumpy. I'm in the hurry up and wait mode here. Plenty of opportunity in other asset classes, guys. Plenty. But if you're going to stay crypto only, well, maybe there'll be more opportunity in the alts. I'm going to look at a couple of alts here, but by request here. I hate to be a buzzkill, but I got to call it like I see it. All right. So hopefully, as the week progresses, we'll get a little more here, so we can get some tells as to what's likely next. But right now, what's the important number? The break of that 65. All right, guys. Talk to you later.